In rounds, I have one type. Bet you can't guess what they are. Old time rounds.
Yankee Station is an interesting place to be. Don't always agree with the political views that are thrown out there, but that's why we live in America, so we can disagree and still shake hands. Are you still there?
I'm still here. Yes, I'm just.
Do you not want to talk to me? I just bought some slab silver, and when I can afford it, I buy gold. I'm a middle-class schmo, so I don't have a lot to spare sometimes, but yeah, I've been doing this since 2011.
And you don't consider yourself a conservative?
I don't at all. No, I'm not an alarmist. I despised so many elements of Donald Trump's presidency that I don't even want to go into it. But that doesn't mean we can't hang out and have coffee. Beyond politics, which doesn't really matter to me that much in so many ways, I think that both yourself and Tim just offer people a very fascinating viewpoint of the world within which we live, both economically and otherwise. And I'm always looking for people that are smart, that challenge me, and that's what you guys do.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching my channel.
I thought that's what you were looking for.
What about Tim? Are you still there?
I'm still here. Yes, I'm just.
Do you not want to talk to me?
No, I'm just packaging up something for somebody.
Oh, I gotcha. I guess I'm a stacker. I never really considered myself that until I started looking at Yankee Station, and then I guess I am, because it's something I believe in, and it's something that's done me very well, and I feel very secure. But I do have a couple of questions, and I'm not sure if you guys can answer, but I'm very interested if you are able to answer.
The reason why I buy from SD Bullion is because they're the top of the line. Service is unbelievable. The prices can't be beat.
Love doing business with them. They have the best prices. I trust them.
They're extremely easy to purchase through. They have great prices and great products.
Integrity and fast shipping. Just a quality organization.
A good friend of mine, Yankee Stacking, is the reason why I shop there.
Like, I have a decent amount of product, and I store it in my home, and I'm starting to question whether or not that's maybe not the most appropriate thing. So, without getting into any details, is that what you folks do?
Well, I can only speak for myself. I have this huge safe in the store, so I'm not too worried about where I stack things. But my daughter used to work here, and she paid all the bills, so she could, write herself a check whenever she felt like it. And for all the time she worked here, she worked here for 6 years and never wrote herself a check. And I asked her how she was paying herself, and she said, "Dad, I just take it in gold and silver." And one of my 4 kids has a much larger stash than I have. But they understand. They've been aware of what's been going on in the country, and it doesn't matter if it's a Republican administration or a Democratic administration. They're both responsible for running up the bill that cannot be paid, and they all are students of history. They're all students of politics, just because they occasionally listen to their father. And there's so much going on in the world, and specifically the European Union was ill-conceived from the beginning, and they have no choice but to now go to a digital currency. And but they can't do that unless they get agreement from the Fed, so that they both have something compatible. So that they can continue to trade with each other. A few serious mistakes that they're making. The biggest mistake that I see is they're isolating or trying to isolate Russia and China. And Russia and China won't go quietly. They've already
Oh, of
enlisted.
course they won't. They're going to be kicking and screaming all the way.
Well, what they've done is they enlisted virtually every country in the Middle East to join them whenever they go to some sort of a digital currency, and that's already been contrived by the fact that they are trading with each other with their own version of a reserve currency.
Right.
That's going to, what are the European Union and the United States, the Federal Reserve, what are they ignoring? They're ignoring South America, Africa, and the rest of Asia. And that's a big mistake.
Huge. And I'm terrified of the digital currency element that may creep into my life before I'm gone. Because at least in New York, I'm not sure what the laws are nationally, quite frankly, but I know in New York State, if you walk into a coin dealer like yourself with $1,000 or more in cash and buy in 1 ounce increments, it's tax free and they don't ask what your name is.
Well, unfortunately,
I'm not sure if that's a federal thing or if that's just New York State, but when I go and see my local coin dealer in New York State, if I'm spending at least $1,000, I give him cash. He gives me product and I walk out the door. And if we go digital, that's no longer a possibility because, at least in my mind, if we go digital eventually, the U.S. Treasury sees every single transaction you make, or can if they desire to.
Yeah,
because there is no more cash.
Yeah, that's potentially the biggest problem with the digital currency is if they try to replace the cash with it. But can they possibly replace the cash in this country or in Europe and ignore the rest of the world? I think in some places where they decide they're going to take away the cash, they'll just be causing revolution. And,
well, you may be right, and I hope that's what they decide and therefore don't do it. But, eventually their eyes, if they did take away cash, whether it's in my lifetime or not, they'd be able to see that you paid some neighborhood kid $40 to cut your lawn and wonder why you hadn't paid Social Security and Medicare tax on it.
You can expand that in 1,000 different ways. What about if you decide to have a garage sale or a yard sale, and
of course,
and somebody walks up there with no digital wallet or no chip in his skin or whatever? It can't be done without the agreement of the people. And that's the biggest problem. And sure, there are a whole lot of people in this country who are sound asleep, don't understand that that's not really a good thing, having a digital currency. But there are a lot of younger people that think, oh, that's great because then I won't have to pull out my card,
Exactly. No, that's what I'm worried about too, because so many of my students, even in their late teens or early 20s, they have Coinbase accounts. They use cards exclusively. They rarely, if ever, have cash on them. So it may just be a generational thing where within 20 or 40 years, it's just not going to matter to the people who are then in power, whether it's at the governmental level or at a variety of different large corporations, et cetera, small business. And it may just happen because people have gotten out of the habit of using cash. But that's one of the many concerns I have.
Mark, are you sure you're a New York liberal?
I don't know if I'm a liberal. I would call myself a moderate. My father, God rest his soul, was a Rockefeller Republican. Pretty conservative economically, and fairly liberal with regards to a variety of social and cultural issues. That's kind of how I situate myself, yeah.
Do your moderate friends look at you like you're a redheaded stepchild?
Even those that lean right, they think I'm a complete idiot. And I live in Erie County, so Erie County sheriffs, state cops, they all get fairly, and I shouldn't even say fairly, significantly healthy pensions after 25 or 30 years, which sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense to me. On one hand, screaming about whoever the governor is or the fact that New York is a very liberal state, but then sucking off that liberal nipple of the public trough from New York State at the same time, and then none of them have a good explanation as to why that sits well with them. So there's one thing, but yeah, my conservative friends think I'm a I'm completely out of my mind for not just buying stocks.
Yeah.
But my complete purpose is within 10 years of retiring to get all of that money out of there, have paid whatever tax I have to pay on it, and convert it into metals.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope you actually have some stacking compadres that don't think you're nuts.
I have one guy that retired. He was a special ed teacher. I told him about your station, and he started watching you, a guy named Tom, and he now takes half of his pension check every month and buys what he feels is appropriate for him, which I believe in his case is mostly gold, with the intention of leaving it to his grandchildren. And he is a fairly conservative guy, but you helped and Tim helped make him more knowledgeable. It's tough when you have a friend and you just kind of tell them things. I think sometimes people are reticent to just fully believe people that are their friends, thinking there may be an agenda. But I think you guys did him a lot of good by listening to the points and the arguments that you've made. And it started about a year ago for Tom. So I've got one guy. That's the only guy I talked to about this.
Well, Mark, hang in there, and thanks so much again for watching my channel, listening to Tim and I.
Oh, it's great.
I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for doing what you do. If I'm in New Hampshire this winter to ski, which is 50-50, but if I am, I'll call ahead, and if you're going to be around, I'll stop by and we'll have coffee.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep, that's our only concern is surviving the winter at the rate things are going. The cost,
What do you mean? In terms of the coin business?
Oh, no, that's going very well. The cost of home heating oil went up again yesterday.
You use home heating oil. You don't use natural gas?
This state is dependent on home heating oil.
Boy.
The store is natural gas, but it's in the city. At home, I burn home heating oil and a lot of firewood.
Keep on doing what you do, and on certain things we'll agree to disagree, but on the rest of it, I'm right with you.
All right.
Very good.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Guys, take care. Have a great weekend.
In rounds, I have one type. Bet you can't guess what they are. Old time rounds.
Silvertown.
It's close.
Close.
Engelhard.
You have Engelhard
I
rounds?
do. Prospectors.
Oh, that's what I was thinking in my head. I couldn't think of the name. That's what I meant.
And they're not more expensive than the other rounds. Same price, which is $25 a piece. But the Engelhard rounds, they haven't made these since 1986, I think it is. Or is it 87? Something in that neighborhood. But that's when they brought out the American Eagles. So since they were a private company, they decided it's too hard to compete with the U.S. Mint. So they stopped making them. But Engelhard was absolutely the pinnacle of silver back in the 80s and 70s.
1984.
Okay, what are we missing? One?
Just looking at one.
I don't know if I have any more.
Man. Yeah, those are nice. You selling these at the same price as a regular Buffalo round?
I am.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a really good guy.
You are a really good guy. I don't care what they say about you in the comments.
Yeah, the rest of the people in the stacking community would probably sell them for $35 or $40 a piece.
You know, we just discovered your channel maybe a couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
Yes. Are you gonna show my face?
If you want. You could be.
No.
Okay, fine.
No.
I will say one thing, though. To get an Engelhard round for the cost of a Buffalo, let me put it to you this way. If you don't buy those, I'm buying them.
No, I'll take him.
Okay.
I'll take him. I'll
Just
take
saying.
one if he has more.
If he has more, okay. Yeah. Do you have more, Tim?
The Engelhard, no. Although I don't know what the wholesaler was shipping me today. If I knew that, I could, maybe dig into some other stuff. But,
How old is the channel?
4 years. Just over 4 years. Yeah. Yeah. It's so much fun. I really enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
it's like I can only charge it for 19
Why?
because that's all I
Because
have.
he only has 19.
I put mine back. I swear I did. It's on camera.
No, they were 19, I know.
Okay.
And I have 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce bars, kilo bars. I have a lot of gold coming in. The gold buffaloes are on, the silver buffaloes are on order. I don't know when they're coming in.
Any rounds?
Well, the buffaloes are the rounds.
Buffaloes, okay. Okay.
You like your silver round?
My wife, I don't know. I have no clue what's
You,
around.
oh, wait a second here. This is for your wife?
It's for my wife.
Oh, no wonder you don't want to be on camera.
My wife. I mean, she knows more about gold and silver than I do.
Well, that's fantastic. I love
Yeah.
it. She sent you.
She did.
Go get me silver. Go.
I just want to say something. So
Go ahead.
we weren't into stacking gold or silver or any of that until COVID hit. So we've been doing this for what, 2 years now, 3 years, going on 3.
Really?
So
Good for you.
yeah, thank you. COVID did a lot of changes in our lives. You know, for the first time I voted Republicans. For the first time I became a Second Amendment. But yeah.
Good for you.
What else? It did a lot. It made us, it opened our eyes, it opened our minds, and nice meeting you.
Oh, it's nice meeting you. By the way, Tim, give him one of the Yankee stacking stickers if
Oh,
you
I
don't
can
mind.
definitely do that.
All right, cool.
We've sold so many stickers.
Oh, here he goes again.
They're only $20 a piece.
Before I leave Tim, I do want some silver. He just took it, but how was your vacation?
It was excellent.
Yeah.
It really was excellent. I love going to Texas. If I had a few extra days, I would definitely go down to the border because I have customers down there. But Austin is growing so fast. I've never seen a city grow as fast as Austin is. And years ago, I went down there on business, and the most prominent thing is you looked at the skylight was the Texas Tower. You can't even see the Texas Tower anymore. There's so many skyscrapers down there now. You can't even see the Texas Tower. But
How long has it been since you've been there?
Oh, well, we go every year.
Oh, it changed that fast.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, the first year we went down there, 2012 was when they had the first race down there. You couldn't get a hotel room anywhere. They were $1,500 a night, minimum 5-night stay. And I think we were way out of town. We stayed in the Dallas area one time. One time we stayed in the Houston area, which is neither is very close by. Texas is a very big place. But
Oh yeah.
the second year we went there, they were building hotels everywhere. And we stayed in a hotel, a Best Western, that hadn't been finished. But they had, the structure was on one side and the one that was open on the other side. And then the year after that, we went down there, and on that road where the Best Western was, there were 6 hotels. Okay, and it's growing that fast. But
Yeah. What was the race? Was the race good?
the race was one of the best races I've ever seen, and I've been going to Grand Prix since 1965. So